If you run a business, you've probably felt this. Sales are looking good, your team is flat out busy, but when you look at the bottom line at the end of the year, the profit just isn't there. It feels like you're running on a treadmill, right? Just to stand still. But what if there was a simple framework to completely flip that script? Well, today we're diving into an incredibly powerful tool designed to do just that, the Profit Accelerator. So let me ask you a question, straight up. Does it feel like for most of the year, every single dollar that comes in the door is just flying right back out to cover costs? If you're nodding along, believe me, you are not alone. It's a huge source of anxiety for so many business owners.
And here's the thing, it's not just a feeling, it's a cold, hard fact. According to the Australian Bureau of Statistics, the average business spends a staggering 11 months of the year just covering its costs. Think about that. 11 months working for everyone else, your landlord, your suppliers, the tax office, and only one single month working for yourself. So the big question is, how do we fix this?
Well, the solution begins with a really powerful shift in how you look at your business, and it's called the Profit Accelerator. This is a concept from Stephen Wood, a business consultant who spent over 2 decades helping leaders get out of this exact trap. It's a cornerstone idea in his book, Practical Tools to Grow Your Business, and it's all about methodically, systematically building a business that's designed for profit from day one. So what is the Profit Accelerator, really? At its heart, it's a super straightforward way to analyze your business, not just as a machine that makes sales, but as a machine that is designed to make a profit. It's about building a cost structure that is profitable by its very nature. Let's break down the basics, shall we?
All right, first up, we have our fixed costs. These are the expenses you have to pay no matter what. Think about your rent, your insurance, the salaries for your core team. On a chart, they're just a flat line because they stay the same whether you sell one thing or 1,000 things.
And then you've got your variable costs. Now, these are directly tied to how much you're selling. The more you sell, the higher these costs are going to go. We're talking about things like raw materials, sales commissions, or what's often called the cost of goods sold. They start at zero and climb up with every single sale you make. And all of this brings us to the most important part of the puzzle, the break-even point. This is that magic moment in the year when your total sales revenue finally catches up and equals your total costs. Now listen to this. Every single day before you hit this point, you are just clawing back your costs. But every single day after this point, that's pure profit. We call these your profit days. And the whole goal here is to have way, way more than just 30 of them a year. Now, what's so brilliant about this model is how it gives us a really clear plan of attack. To get more of those precious profit days, you don't need to reinvent your entire business. You just have 3 specific, powerful levers that you can pull to change the whole financial picture of your year. And these 3 levers, they are beautifully simple. Number 1, reduce your fixed costs. Number 2, reduce your variable costs. And number 3, increase your sales. That's it. By methodically working on these 3 areas, you physically move your break-even point earlier and earlier in the year. Let's see exactly how each one works.
Okay, let's look at level 1, reducing fixed costs. Imagine you manage to renegotiate your office rent, or you find a more efficient software subscription that saves you a bit each month. Boom, you've just lowered that flat cost line. And what's the result? Your break-even point moves from October to September, instantly adding a whole month of profit days to your calendar.
Next up, lever 2, tackling those variable costs. Let's say you find a better supplier, or you make your production process just a little bit more efficient. What happens is the slope of your total cost line gets shallower. It doesn't climb as fast. And the effect is exactly the same. Your break-even point shifts earlier, adding even more profit days to your year. And finally, we have lever 3, increasing your sales. Honestly, this is often the most powerful lever of all. By improving your sales process, maybe by really focusing on your absolute best customers, which is a huge idea in Stephen Wood's work, you make the slope of your revenue line much, much steeper. And this is where the real magic happens. Just look at the impact. The break-even point doesn't just nudge forward, it leaps from October all the way to August. That's a huge increase in profit days. So what does this actually look like in practice over the long haul? Let's walk through a quick case study to see the incredible power of making small, consistent improvements across all 3 of these levers, year after year. This is really how you stop running in that rat race and start truly working on your business. What's so amazing here is the compounding effect. If we just make small, consistent tweaks each year, look what happens over 8 years. Check out the revenue line. Yeah, it grows nicely. But now look at net profit. It doesn't just grow, it more than triples. This is the accelerator effect in action, literally doubling the net margin from 15% all the way to 30%. Let's focus on the number that truly matters, profit days. Back in 2020, this company started with 91 profit days. That's about 3 months of the year where they were actually working for themselves. Not bad, but not great. But fast forward to 2028. Through that consistent, methodical effort, that number climbed to an incredible 174 days. They nearly doubled their profit days. They are now making money for themselves for almost half of the entire year. That's a game changer. And that brings us to the most crucial point of all. This wasn't about one single heroic effort. There was no silver bullet. It was the simple consistency of activity. Small, sustained improvements in their pricing, their sales volume, and their cost control, they all compounded over time to produce a massive result. And that consistency is what helps you keep a clear head, even when things get a little tricky. Okay, so this is a fantastic model. But how do you actually apply it to your own business? How can you use the Profit Accelerator to start achieving the goals that you really want for yourself? Well, it all starts by taking a really clear, honest look at where you are right now. You know, the creator of Dilbert, Scott Adams, he once joked, "Remind people that profit is the difference between revenue and expense. This makes you look smart." And it's funny because it's so incredibly basic, right? Yet, as Stephen Wood often points out, it's shocking how many business owners don't truly deeply know their numbers at this fundamental level. So here's your path forward. First, you've got to know your numbers, your fixed and your variable costs inside and out. Second, calculate your break-even point. When do you actually start making money? Third, set clear, achievable targets for improvement. And fourth, and this is the most important part, be consistent. And remember, this isn't just about spreadsheets. When you build a more profitable business, you're creating real stability and value for yourself, for your team, and for your customers. So I want you to take a moment and just think about it. After seeing this framework, which of those 3 levers really stands out for your business? Is it your fixed costs, your variable costs, or is it sales? Where's your biggest, most immediate opportunity to start adding some profit days to your calendar? And that really leads to our final thought for today. The journey from working 11 months for other people to building a truly, deeply profitable business, it's a methodical process. It's not about some magic formula. It's all about focus and consistency. So let me leave you with this question. What is your very first step in creating your own roaring success?